Hi, this is Dr. Park. As a plastic surgeon, I retired in 2017 at age 53 because I really want to enjoy my active lifestyle. But after the retirement, I realized I wanted to have some form of passive income. So after extensive research and very careful planning, I bought some great investment properties in DC metro area, right where Amazon's second headquarters and Virginia Tech Innovation Campus is moving in. And talking with my friends and colleagues, they really encouraged me to get my license for real estate so I could help them as an advisor and as an agent. And I want to do the same for you by sharing some of my investment know-hows. Today, I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of real estate investment. Now, I've done extensive research on it, so this is kind of lengthy. I don't want to just go through really quickly. I want to go into little details so that you can understand my thought processes as well. So here it goes. On this episode, I want to cover first top 3 pros, and then I'll cover other ones on the following episodes. Now, the first one is having a direct control. Now, I've owned different businesses before, and I've had my own practice, obviously, and also invest in stocks in the past. And I always felt like I never had the full control, not even in my own practice, because I was depending on my employees, the marketing teams, different entities, and when you have your own business, sometimes, well, not sometimes, most of the case, you're kind of committed to it for 3 to 5 years because that's how long it takes for any business to establish at the beginning. So, but one thing that I feel like I have in my own rental properties is that I have freedom. And I have 100% control. I'm not depending on some employees. Obviously, there will be some changes in the market, but then that's really a minimum. That's something that everybody has to go through. But I'm not depending on any employees. I'm not depending on any marketing teams. I'm not depending on any kind of time commitment. For example, like if I want to sell this property today and put in the market and then sell it and then move on to something else or buy a different property, I have that freedom. So I feel like I have the control and the freedom. Next, I was looking for a fixed income. As I retire, I really want to have fixed income where I'm not worried about next month. So I know exactly how much I can spend and how much I could enjoy in my life. So rental property for me was a perfect fixed income source where if I had 12-month lease or 2-year lease or 36-month lease, whatever the length of the lease is, that I know how much I'm getting every month, except for a very small variance, which I'm not really concerned about. As I mentioned before, as I retire, I was really looking for passive income. And a lot of people think real estate investment is not really a passive income, but you can make it be, where I did. Now, one thing that I looked into was property manager. Now, previously, I didn't think so well of property managers. I thought they were really out there for their own good. And I felt it was unnecessary expense on my part. But as I was looking into it, trying to make it to make it to be a passive income, I realized they could really make it happen for me. Now, property managers' primary duty is to protect the client's property at the same time to maximize their profits. So if you talk about the cost of property manager, for the listing, they take 1 month's rent fee for the listing, where I got 25% off of that. And then after that, 1 month's rent fee per 1 year management fee. So it's not too bad, but it's also tax deductible. You could write it off as expense. Now, the second thing is that property manager is responsible for the fair housing and discrimination. Now, as I was studying real estate and as I was investing in rental properties, I realized that fair housing and discrimination is a very serious matter, and I really didn't want to mess around with that. Now, because the property manager does all the tenant screening for you and they help you or they assist you in the process of selecting the tenants, you're pretty much covered there. And the next thing is the listing and the management. Now, I have few friends who try to do their own listing, who try to do their own management. It didn't work out too well for them. They're not too happy about themselves or their tenants. So that's something that I want to avoid. And also, it also gives you a lower eviction rate. Now, if the tenants knows that the owner is the manager, they tend to, well, I don't want to say take advantage, but they don't take it too seriously because they don't think you're going to take them to eviction court if they miss like 1 or 2 payments. Now, when the property manager is in charge, they know they're very serious about it. They're not afraid to take it to a court for the eviction. So because they take it more seriously, there is a lower rate of eviction. And they also give you professional advice on renting. On my part, they gave me advice about the carpet. They told me I should go with, remove the carpet because it needed to be removed anyway, and put a vinyl plank on it because they last practically forever. And it looks nice. It looks like a hardwood floor. It's waterproof, so you don't have to worry about the pads or the water damage or whatever. So I went with that, and as I mentioned, the cost was minimum, and the benefit that you're gonna get out on the future is really, really good. So, and also they gave me some other advices as well, and also they work to decrease the vacancy rate. Now, on all my properties, as soon as I put on the listing, I was able to rent it out within, some of them even in a few days, and some of them within a week, or some of them within a month. But this was during the dead of winter. It was during the Christmas and New Year. So everybody told me I should wait till Christmas is over, maybe wait till March or whatever, when the market turns around. But I talked to my property manager. They told me if we have what they want, and we really shouldn't have a problem, and they're all right. And I'm very happy with it. My rent fee is not high, but it's not really low. It's right where I want it to be and where I'm comfortable, and I know where my tenants will want to stay longer. So they gave me really good advice how to decrease my vacancy and also decrease my turnover cost. Now, and they also gave me a protection from my tenants. So now, one thing that I realized is that tenants, they're all different. They have different culture. They have different personality. They come from different background. And I myself has different culture. I come from different backgrounds. So dealing with your tenant can be stressful, and it could create unnecessary conflict. Now, property manager, they're very used to different types of tenants. So when the tenant has an issue, they actually, by the time it gets to me, it's pretty much filtered out. So it's pretty much straightforward what needs to be done. And they really work with me. For example, like I had a brand new washer in my, one of my rental properties, and tenants were having an issue. It had some kind of code, and the property manager called me and they asked me if they wanted me, if they wanted me to have them call the contractor. And I told them, let me come and look at it myself, but take a picture of the code and let me know what it is. I did a little research online, and I figured it was not a big deal. I went there myself and actually fixed it within like 15 minutes. Or like fans or whatever. So they'll give you an option before they start doing, before they start spending your money. They'll talk to you first, and then if it's something that you could, tackle it yourself, you can. So even though it's a passive income, you might have little bit of work, but it's not a big deal.